Yeah, like, so like you come into the grow room, and as soon as you come in there, like the humidity level like smacks you in the face, like a completely noticeable difference in humidity. And like I came in there and like there was like literally water all over the wall. It looked like I literally just took a hose and like drenched the walls. So whenever I first started growing, I started whenever it was still warm outside. So whenever the winter came, I didn't really think that anything was gonna change with the grow room. But as soon as it got below freezing outside, boom, I started noticing issues. So first off, whenever I came into the grow room, when I first started noticing the difference, I came in there and I mean, it was like probably like 99% room humidity. I mean, it was like, if anybody here's from North Carolina, it's like one of those days where you walk outside and it's so humid, you just like start to sweat. So I walk in the grow room, I felt like that. I look at the walls and I started to notice like, it looked like I had just took my hose and sprayed the walls down. I mean, there was water beads everywhere. And then as I started to look at my crops, I was noticing that there was water accumulation in all the crops. Like they all just looked soaking wet. And then some of them had even started to create rot spots where they were actually already starting to break down. It was my first grow room that I've ever built, so it was definitely a learning curve. But I started doing research, and by the time I figured out that I needed to have a dehumidifier, my walls had already started to mold. So I went through a whole process of having to shut my grow operation down. I had just started, so all the clients that I had just promised product to, I had to go and explain to them like, hey, I had an issue with my grow room. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm trying to figure it out, which was crazy. So this is the dehumidifier that I have right now. And you don't necessarily need a dehumidifier that's this big. This is a commercial size dehumidifier. This will do about 100-foot greenhouse. I mean, I don't even think we actually need something this big, but we want to just make sure that we have what we need. So this is what we have. You can go to like Lowe's Hardware or Walmart or a department store like that and usually find a smaller dehumidifier, and it'll work just fine. So I learned that I needed to have a dehumidifier in the grow room, but then I also noticed that once I started having the dehumidifier in the grow room, that it actually started to pull the moisture accumulation out of my greens regularly. And that's also something that has improved the longevity of my crops whenever I go to harvest them. So it was like give or take. I had to learn a hard lesson and I had to shut my grow room down. But I got the dehumidifier. I was able to get my grow room back under control. And then it was also, I was also able to find a new way to improve the overall quality of my microgreens once they're harvested. The reason that it improved was because what happens with microgreens is most of us water the trays from the bottom tray. And so what happens is whenever we water, the water gets soaked up through the roots, through these holes right here. But through the natural water system, the water as it transpires and goes up through the soil and like it'll accumulate in the canopy of the microgreens. And so if you don't have the dehumidifier, well, we like to use a dehumidifier and hurricane fans because the hurricane fans kind of help the stems to blow and kind of create airflow. And then the dehumidifier actually helps to pull the moisture out. So again, these are some things that we've learned over time, but the point is right now it's winter time. If you are having issues with your grow room and everything's out of whack and you have your temperature control, like if your grow room is as warm as it needs to be, but you're noticing that you're having lots of rot issues, you're having water on the walls, it just feels super humid, I think the solution is going to be getting a dehumidifier. So if you guys don't have a dehumidifier, you're having these issues right now, go ahead and try and grab one, and I hope it helps to get your grow room back on track. Thank you guys so much. I hope this video was helpful. Hope you guys have a great winter.